Really? Like my first video on this YouTube channel, to be about cars, miles per gallon, and horsepower, and resale value, and all that, all the good things you should know about cars before you ever buy one. I remember my father never really had the conversation with me. My very first car I bought was a piece of shit car. So when it came time for me to buy my well, at the time I had a wife. Then later on I got divorced, but anyways, I bought my very first car was a Dodge Intrepid. It was a 2002. It was a lemon, and I spent about $50,000 in maintenance over 14 years on that car. I should have got rid of it a long time sooner, but I didn't really have anybody give me advice on it, so I just kept it running really well, and I paid a lot of money to keep it running well. Eventually, I sold that car. Anyways, my second car that I was going to buy was for my ex-wife. She wanted a brand new car. Her Subaru just exploded. The engine just blew out. I actually blew it up. I blew up the engine. I was trying to blow that car up, but I didn't like that car. It wasn't very safe for her, and it wasn't really safe for my daughter at the time. We just had a brand new little girl, and I didn't like that car anyway, so I was trying to blow that car up. So I was redlining that car. It was an old Subaru. It didn't run very well. Her father wrecked it into a fucking wall or something and never fixed it, so that's what she had. So I wrecked it. So I didn't wreck it, but I revved it up. I over revved it, and I blew up the engine one day. I was so happy when I revved it up like that. I took the battery out. It was a brand new battery, and bought her a brand new car that day. So I was thinking, what kind of car am I gonna buy her, right? Because I was already thinking about this for probably about a year. You shouldn't just go out and buy a brand new car or a used car. You shouldn't just go out and do it willy-nilly. You should actually do some research on it. So for about a year before I blew up the Subaru, I was already doing the research on it. You know, I was looking at Hondas. I was looking at Subarus. I was looking at Nissans. I was looking at even some versions I really didn't care for, like Saturns and Mitsubishi and all these other, I looked at everything for a year. I did research on this for a year because I got burned so hard on the first car I bought. My 2002 Dodge Intrepid that I bought when I was about 20 years old. I got burned so hard on that deal because I was such a lemon. I told myself I would never do that ever again. I told myself I would do the research. The next time I bought a new car or any car, I would do the research to make sure I got a great car with high resale value and a car that wouldn't break down. It wouldn't, have all these problems and electrical issues and, all that stuff. So I did my research the second time I bought a car. So I spent a whole freaking year, and I had like logs and notebooks and databases and everything, man. I really took it seriously the second time I bought a car. I didn't want to get messed up on my next car deal, And so I was looking at even like Priuses and everything. I wanted something that was sporty, and I also wanted something that had good miles per gallon. But I want something fast. I wanted like a sports car, but I wanted something that was economical, that got good, good miles per gallon, like somewhere close to like 38 or 40 or something like that. And I remember I looked at Volkswagens right away. But this is before the scandal went down with Volkswagen. And I remember right before we bought the car, I looked at Hondas, looked at Subarus, I looked at Nissans, I looked at all the models. And I couldn't find anything better than like about 34 miles per gallon. I was like, why can't I find something better than this? And right before I blew up the Subaru, because I blew up that engine, because I was revving that engine way too high, red line. Right before I blew it up though, No, I was talking. I was talking to I was married at the time, but I'm not married anymore. But I was married at the time. I was just brand new married. You know, I was only married for like a year, and somehow I don't know how this happened, but this is. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This is like 2000. 2008 or something like that, or 2012, or I think it was like 2012, 2014 or something like that. Somehow I went online and I found the Volkswagen turbo diesel injections. Yeah, I think it was like 2012 or 2014 or something like that. No, no, it was 2014. I believe it was 2013, 2014, something like that. And it was just like I was looking at vehicles online every single day for a year, and I never seen this vehicle before. Like they Volkswagen was like hiding these vehicles. This is before the scandal took off in about, I don't know, 2016 or something like that, or 2015, 2014. It was a few years later that the scandal went down with the turbo diesel injections. So I had no idea this was going to happen. But I found this car. Somehow, I swear they were trying to hide this vehicle. They knew, I think they knew that it was going to get recalled or they're going to get sued or something like that. I think they knew it. I think Volkswagen knew it. Because I was looking for the most economical, you know, most sports car I could find for the best price. And this, I had never seen this vehicle for like over a year. And I was looking for this vehicle. Well, one day I found it. And it took me over a year to find it. And I was like, what the hell is this shit? Because I seen the Jetta, I seen the Golf, and it's just a gasoline version. Well, one day I stumbled, luckily, I don't know how, but right as I was about to blow up that Subaru, I stumbled upon the turbo diesel injection version of the Jettas. I don't know how. It was just luck, maybe. So I was like, and then I seen that they get like 45 miles per gallon, and they have like 240 pounds of torque, and they're like 200 horsepower, and it was like the best of both worlds. It was like the best. It was better than a Prius on miles per gallon, but it was better than like everything else on like torque and horsepower. It was like a sports car. It was like a Porsche almost. But you know, German engineering and and it had a good resale value. It was a pretty good price. It was like 20 grand or something like that, 22,000, 24,000, something like that. So then I would go to the dealership. I go to the Volkswagen dealership. Well, now when I blow up her Subaru one day, she's crying, obviously, because I blew up her car. And I said, don't worry about it. I'll buy you a brand new car today. I'll buy you a brand new one. Let's go down to the Volkswagen dealership. Just luckily, I did not even go into that much detail about it, but I went down to the dealership down there, and they had a Volkswagen Jetta. They had one, a TDI. They had one turbo diesel injection. It was a 2013 model, I think, and I think the year was 2015, so it was 2 years old, and only had like 20,000 miles, so it was basically a brand new car. And I bought it, you know, obviously. Got like 4% rate or something like that in interest. I got a really good deal on it. And it was all white leather. It was fully loaded. It had the fucking... Somebody bought it. They drove it for like a year and they traded it in. What an idiot. Anyways, so I bought the car for my wife at the time and for my daughter at the time. Great deal, man. I think in about 7 or 8 years later, the cars got recalled because of the turbo diesel injection. They got recalled, and the car was almost completely paid off. I think she only owed like $2,000 on it by then, and then they paid her like about $8,000 for the car. They offered her $8,000 or they would fix the car, and I said take the $8,000. Car's almost paid off anyways. It's like 8 years old. It's not really not worth that much money anymore, and it was a very rare car at the time in America. And they would take those cars and they would either fix them or they would send them to like Germany or something like that. So I told her, take the money. They're giving you a great deal. The car's pretty much paid off. It's not really worth more than like 3 or 4 grand, anyways. At this point, if they're gonna pay you $8,500 for this car, take the money and then buy a new car. So that's what she did. She got a brand new 2018 Honda Civic STI. She got the Pro model STI, and it's a sick ass car actually. I love her new car. It's way faster than my Golf. I ended up getting later on. See, this whole recall didn't happen for a long time. I mean, it didn't happen for like 13 to 18. Yeah, it didn't happen for like 5 or 6 or 7 years or something like that. It was a long time later on that the recall actually initiated. Like when the government like sued Volkswagen for like, I don't know, like trillions of dollars or something. I don't know. But between that time, I had actually bought a Golf too. I traded in my Dodge Intrepid for 2015 Volkswagen Golf TDI. So I like the turbo diesels injections. The TDIs. I like those. They were very sporty. They had a lot of torque. I think it had 240 pounds of torque. It had 200 horsepower. So it had more torque than horsepower. It was a very sporty car. And it got like 45 miles per gallon. Again, just like the Jetta. I was like, damn, these cars are sick. I like these cars. I liked them so much that even my brother bought one. He bought a Golf wagon that got like 45 miles per gallon. He bought a TDI Golf wagon. So all three of our cars, we all had the option eventually to either get them recalled or get them fixed. My wife chose to get her car recalled. So basically, it's like you trade it back into them and you just give back to them, and then they just give you a bunch of money. My brother did the same thing. He had the Golf wagon. He had like, I think a 2016 or 2017 Golf wagon, but she had the Jetta. And then I had the Golf, just a small Golf, just like the short car. And I was the only one out of three that kept my car. I already had rims, I already had tinted, I already lowered. I'm already, making a lot of modifications on my car. Good modifications too, by the way. Not bad modifications. Just tint the windows. I H&R lowering springs. I put OZ racing wheels on the vehicle, staggered, and good tires. There's no fender gap. Like, I already spent like, I don't know, 3 or 4 grand modifying my car, so I didn't want to trade. I didn't want to give my car back. So I didn't opt for the trade in. I just said, you fix my car and then I'll keep my car. And you had to, otherwise you couldn't keep your car. So they had to put like a new muffler and like some sort of like restriction plates on my shit to make it didn't get like 45 miles per gallon anymore. It still got like 41 or 42 miles per gallon on the freeways. But yeah, it kind of fucked up the horsepower a little bit. But I didn't have a choice. It was like part of the VIN number. So like if you didn't get the car fixed, then like they didn't fix your title, kind of like, and then like you couldn't ever get it registered ever again. So I didn't have a choice. I had to get it fixed. I didn't want to. I thought it was perfect the way it was, but they said it was violating the air codes or something. They said it was. Originally they said it was like clean diesel. But then later on, somebody did a test on it, and they found out that it was not a clean diesel. Basically, it was like 40 times against the legal limits of clean. So I had to get it cleaned or something, or get it fixed to be cleaned. But I never had a problem with the sensors or the brakes or the suspension. I mean, it was a really good car, so I really wanted to keep it, and I still have that vehicle to this day. And now it's 2021, so the car's 6 years old now. I still have the vehicle, and I've never had a problem with the vehicle, other than the fact that I did blow up the turbocharger one day. But it was under warranty. It was like 55,000 miles. I kind of drive fast. I got kind of a lead foot. I did blow up the turbocharger one day. But it was under warranty, so I got a new one. And thank God it was under warranty. I don't know how much money it was going to cost. Probably $3,000 or $4,000 probably. So now I know that I can't drive that fast, A. And then B, if I do drive this fast continually, then in about 50,000 more miles, I'll be spending about $4,000 or $5,000 on a new turbo. So I don't drive as fast as I used to. The car has a top speed of 225 miles per hour. And you, 125, sorry. 125 miles per hour. But that's when it's like 10 degrees outside and I have an octane booster and all that shit. But yeah, I got up to 125 the other day. I used to think the top speed was 119. But the other day I got down. It snowed over here and really good air quality, so I got it up to 125. And yeah, that's how fast I got it up to the other day. But it's a great car. I love the car. It's all black. It's always these racing wheels. I like it. It's not the flashiest car. It's not a Audi or anything, and the interior is kind of whack. And I don't have a sunroof or a backup camera. I don't really have any of that stuff, but I really like my 2015 Golf, my Volkswagen Golf TDI. I really like the car. It's a Mark 7. It's really kind of rare in America. Like I said, most of them are recalled, so nobody really has them anymore. It's kind of hard to find those cars. Most people have the GTI, the STI, and now people got the Type R too, but that's like 42,000 or something like that. Who could afford? If I had $42,000, I'm not gonna buy a Golf. I'll buy a fucking. I'll buy something better. Now I'll buy an Audi or something like that, but or Volvo or something. But who spends $42,000 on a Golf, dude? Jesus Christ. Maybe one day, my goal one day maybe is to pick up a wrecked Golf R, like a Mark 7 Golf R, that's kind of like totaled, but like the engine still works, and then like maybe switch out the engine, transmission, and all the computers and stuff, and maybe the brakes and everything, because it's like basically a sports car. So maybe one day I'll, because it's the same platform. But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe in 10 years. Take care.